Well, good afternoon and welcome to our virtual dialogue with the Dean, bringing you more campus updates from Purdue. Before we start, I just want to remind everyone, if you have any questions throughout the video, please feel free to leave a comment and we'll come back and we'll respond to your questions. Today, it's a pleasure to have with us Ethan Braden. Ethan is the Senior Vice President of Marketing and Communications for Purdue University and one of the Protect Purdue implementation team leaders. Ethan, thank you for joining us today.
For the opportunity, Dean.
So we've been in this now 14 months, and we wrapped up the spring semester last Friday. And as you just reflect, what are you most proud of from this now completed academic year?
You know, I would say that from the very beginning, and I took some flack in the Exponent and some other places for saying this early on, but I said we had a special set of students, and I still believe that. I'm most proud that we played a small part in mobilizing, the attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors that we needed to reopen, stay open, and have what was, I think, a wonderful experience amidst a pandemic this year, to play a role not in the marketing dust of it, but rather the behavioral change and the change management of it, of sound messaging, to make sure that we could do it safely, and do it successfully. So my team and I are just thrilled and humbled to have been able to play a small role in sitting here today like we are.
We had the Protect Purdue ambassadors, the students, and the implementation team had a chance to spend some time with them. I think it was last Friday.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about a reason to be proud as a Boilermaker. Maybe just share a little bit about who those students were and the role that they played really in messaging to their peers.
Yeah, such an impressive group of students spanning all of the classes, spanning all of the colleges, with 400 applications in August of last year, whittled down to 200 Protect Purdue ambassadors on 20 teams, 20 team leaders, really mobilizing positive reinforcement, change, the right attitudes and beliefs, behaviors across campus, handing out 5,000 masks, serving 7,000 hours across the course of the school year, tabling, walking through places, and again, just creating the right behaviors, the right culture to stay open and be a Boilermaker in this pandemic. And then they also essentially stemmed and spawned an incredible online presence of messaging authentically to their peers. And that's something that we'll carry on into the future, of just being brand ambassadors of what it means to be, and what it means when we say this is so Purdue. They were a huge change agent, and they were an authentic one on this campus all throughout the year, really giving an incredible shot in the arm to be able to do what we did.
Well, let's start to forecast a little bit for the fall. We're already planning. It's hard to believe in May. We're already thinking about August and September, but we have to in this environment. What will Protect Purdue look like, do you think, next fall?
Yeah, I mean, I think there will be similarities in tone and probably in certain seriousness, also always working to strike the right, even levity or authenticity for sustained engagement. But I hope that we're seeing a largely vaccinated community on a campus that's open and vibrant and dense and active, with returns to Ross-Ade safely, with returns to Mackey safely, with returns, like many of our faculty have said in videos of late, to big classrooms safely. But we'll still need many of the measures, or some of the measures at least, to protect ourselves and to protect others and to protect this community while we do that in that second year of really what will be an endemic that you know better than I do in that regard. So the messaging will evolve, but it'll still be there. And that is to keep each individual safe, particularly the vulnerable, to keep each other safe the way Boilermakers do, and to keep this incredibly vibrant, incredibly special Boilermaker community thriving and going and doing it open. What are your thoughts?
Well, I agree. For me, I see the fall really as an opportunity to continue to build on the two things you said. One is two big jobs that we have is to continue the push for vaccinations.
Yep.
And I remember my wife and I worked the vaccine clinic that first week it was open, and we walked out after about a 12-hour day over there, and the giant Purdue Pete banner was on the co-rec with Pete there, and it was really a special, but really stressing to everyone, and particularly our what will be most likely our record number of new beginners in the fall who've not been part of this culture to get vaccinated. It's the fastest and surest means that we're going to be able to get back to normal. That vaccines at this point, the COVID vaccines are safe, they're effective. They do allow us, and I've said it this way, it is an expression of the Protect Purdue pledge. It protects me from even the risk of serious illness, no matter how great or small that may be. It protects others because I'm not transmitting the disease to others. And it really protects both the local community and really our global community, because as we reduce transmission, we reduce the risk of new variants forming, which is one of the things that we're keeping our eyes on. I also think we'll have to live we're going to have to live with this disease. It's not going away. It will be endemic, which means we will manage it medically and scientifically. There's lots of misinformation out there, lots of misunderstandings about the disease, about the vaccines, about what we're doing. So we're going to continue to take the best science, the best medicine, message it to an educated but not an expert audience. And that includes our students, our faculty across this campus. We've got really smart people, but many of them are not in biomedical science or the basic sciences or in medicine. And so they are unfamiliar, they're well educated, they can understand an educated message. And so we'll communicate that to them. And then, of course, messaging to our parents, both new beginner parents and existing parents, about what we're doing and why we're doing it, and why it's important that we keep doing this, because it's not going to go away, and we do need to learn to live with it safely, which we can, and we are. And to your point, I think we'll be able to take another major step, maybe even a giant leap forward for the fall. So I want to shift us away from COVID now. We've spent 14 months thinking deeply about it, but there's got to be some other things that you see from a marketing, messaging, communication side of what's next. I mean, we had come out of the 150th anniversary. I still drink from my 150th anniversary cup each day, and we were branding around giant leaps. We had that, the persistent pursuit of giant leaps. We were really kind of moving forward. The Boilermaker train was moving, and then we had a little bit of an interruption. We had a major interruption when we had to shift to COVID. So what do you see as next on the communication front? What's on the horizon on the backside of all of this COVID stuff?
Yeah, no, I appreciate the question and you noting that. We were 5 weeks into this brand launch and this new brand platform, which was really to sustain the years ahead, whereas the 150th anniversary was a one-year celebration in a harmonious and compelling and consistent fashion, and then COVID hit. Now it was a great chance for us to live our brand, because instead of, Mike Tyson says you always have a plan until you get punched in the mouth, and we got punched in the mouth, everyone did, with COVID going home, et cetera. And so you could have either aborted the playbook or you could stick to it, and that's what we did. We evolved, Protect Purdue and our posture and our messaging to the world, really still in the vein of persistent innovation together. We were going to come back. We were going to do it innovatively, and we were going to do it together. And so that continues as we move forward. Higher ed faces a lot of challenges today, and will continue to, whether it's demographic decline or the scrutiny on the high price for some, the belief that it's a commodity for others, declining rates of parents wanting their son or daughter to go and get a college degree, et cetera. And so we have headwinds to combat. And our job from a marketing and communication standpoint is to create just incredible affinity and demand for this special place called Purdue University. My successor, Dan Hassler, used to say that he'd wake up in the morning, he'd come to campus thinking that something was science fiction. And by the time he left Purdue University, he believed it was a documentary. And so we have really the privilege and the responsibility as our marketing communications endeavor to tell the incredible story and the stories of Purdue University to, again, create incredible demand from that next student, those next parents, that next faculty member, our research partners, employers, et cetera. And so that's what we get really excited about, is in a very compelling and a very disciplined and a very consistent fashion, being able to just create incredible demand, incredible affinity, a credible just awe in the things and the incredible things and the giant leaps that are taking place at Purdue University, and being able to focus back on that, maybe a little bit more centrally than we have over the last course of the year, where we really focused on the safety and the protection of our people, which was a great recruitment message. And it will continue to be, right? We're known as a safe and secure campus, the third most safe college campus in America right now. But that said, being able to, again, attract students, faculty, researchers based on the incredible things that happen here on a daily basis and in their future, and being able to be so focused on that when it comes to our marketing, our communication, and our branding.
Well, Ethan, thank you for spending a few minutes with me today. Just know from the College of Pharmacy's perspective and from me personally, how grateful I am to you and your team for all you've done for Purdue this past year. And I look forward to taking some giant leaps together with you all in the years ahead. So thank you so much.
Such a pleasure. Thank you.
So those of you watching, again, please comment on the video if there are any other topics you'd like to see us discuss in the future. And as always, we thank you for watching. We hope everyone has a great start to their summer, and we'll see you back next month. As always, hail Purdue and boiler up.